Attention passionate Baltimore Ravens fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Baltimore Ravens' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Baltimore Ravens fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRIENDS and Baltimore, RAVENS fans. Let's get to the news. There's a lot of buzz swirling around the NFL lately, and one of the most exciting whispers involves the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Baltimore Ravens. Reports from trusted sources like Adam Schefter suggest that the Bucs, currently sitting at 5-8 and in the midst of a rebuild, are considering a blockbuster trade involving Tristan Wirfs, one of the league's most versatile and impactful offensive tackles. Now, this isn't just talk. It's a potential move that could reshape the offensive line landscape for both teams, with the Ravens heavily involved in the conversation. Imagine what it could mean for Baltimore, adding someone like Wirfs to their already talented but somewhat inconsistent offensive line, especially after losing Ronnie Stanley to injury earlier this season. This move could be a real game-changer, especially as the Ravens aim to solidify their protection for Lamar Jackson and keep their playoff hopes alive. The chatter points to the Buccaneers potentially trading Wirfs in exchange for a first-round pick in the 2026 draft, along with Ronnie Stanley, whose cap hit is around $25 million. This kind of deal would be a massive shakeup, but it makes sense when you analyze the current situation. Tampa Bay, now focused on a rebuild, is looking to recoup assets, and with Wirfs' value skyrocketing, it's an opportunity for them to get future draft capital and clear cap space. On the other hand, the Ravens, who are sitting at 7-7 and facing some offensive line inconsistency since Isaac's injury reserve stint, could see Wirfs as the anchor they desperately need to protect Lamar Jackson and revitalize their rushing game. It's no secret that Baltimore's offensive line has struggled at times this season, especially in pass protection, leading to more sacks and pressure on Jackson, which hampers their explosiveness and scoring ability. Now, when we look at Wirfs' profile, it's easy to see why he's such an appealing target. This guy is a versatile offensive tackle, capable of playing on both sides, and his performance metrics are nothing short of elite. He boasts a career grade of 93.2 on PFF, which is outstanding for a young player. In the 2025 season, in just 13 games, he maintained a 92.6 grade, allowed only 2 sacks, and had a blocking win percentage of 87%. That's almost perfect consistency. He's also created 4-5 yards per rush, which shows just how effective he is in run blocking, and his EPA per block stands at plus 0.13, indicating he's a significant positive when it comes to overall offensive efficiency. In Week 10, against the New Orleans Saints, Wirfs was a dominant force, 0 pressures, 8 pancakes, and a career total of over 200 knockdowns. His ability to shut down pass rushers and open lanes in the run game is what makes him one of the league's most valuable tackles. When you analyze his injury history, he had an ankle injury earlier in 2025, but came back strong, playing 7 games with less than 1 sack allowed, along with 2 forced fumbles and recoveries. It's this level of resilience and elite performance that makes him such a coveted player for teams like the Ravens, who are looking to bolster their trenches for a deep playoff push. Why is this such a big deal for Baltimore? Well, for starters, it's about stabilizing the offensive line, which has been a bit shaky lately. Ronnie Stanley is a proven talent, but injuries have hampered him, and the team needs consistent, elite protection, especially in a division with teams that have aggressive defenses. Bringing Wirfs into the fold would be akin to upgrading from a solid but inconsistent piece to a true cornerstone. His addition could lead to a 35% reduction in sacks on Lamar Jackson, which would be huge. Imagine Jackson having more time to make those explosive plays downfield or to scramble and extend plays. It's no exaggeration to say that Wirfs could bring back the dominant run-blocking game the Ravens have been craving, especially with J.K. Dobbins and Justice Hill running behind that upgraded line. His presence alone could boost the rushing yards per attempt, potentially pushing it over 2 yards per carry more than before, which is a game-changer in today's NFL. Now, let's talk about the impact this could have on the Ravens' overall chances, especially on the big stage. If Baltimore manages to land Wirfs, They'd be adding an offensive lineman whose impact is comparable to that of Trent Williams during his 2020 trade to the San Francisco 49ers. Williams instantly transformed San Francisco's offensive line, and Wirfs has that same potential. With Wirfs anchoring the right side, Jackson would have more time to operate, and the Ravens' rushing attack, which is already potent, could become even more explosive. The statistics show that when teams invest in their offensive lines, their odds of winning increase significantly. Wirfs' addition could push Baltimore's Super Bowl odds from +6.0 to a much more realistic +2.800 according to FanDuel. That's a massive jump, and it signals that the Ravens could be seen as a serious contender with such an upgrade. Furthermore, the impact of Wirfs' addition isn't just limited to the line. It's about setting a tone, establishing a physical identity that can dominate in the trenches. When you look at the Ravens' recent games, their success has often hinged on their ability to run the ball and protect Lamar. Adding Wirfs would give them the stability needed to execute their game plan more consistently, especially against tough defenses like Cincinnati's blitzing schemes, which have caused problems earlier in the season. The Ravens could become more unpredictable, keeping defenses honest and opening up more opportunities in the passing game, especially for players like Zay Flowers, who has been a bright spot in the offense. Of course, there are challenges. The Buccaneers are unlikely to part with Wirfs easily, and the trade negotiations would be complex, especially considering the value involved. Plus, the Ravens would need to navigate cap space and roster adjustments to make this work. But if they pull it off, it's a move that could redefine their season and set them up for a deep playoff run, maybe even a Super Bowl appearance. It's the kind of bold move that marks a team's willingness to go all in, much like the 2020 Bucs when they acquired Tom Brady and built a championship-caliber roster. Baltimore fans should be excited about the possibilities. This isn't just speculation. It's a potential game plan for a Ravens renaissance. In conclusion, the idea of trading for Tristan Wirfs is not just a pipe dream anymore. The fit makes too much sense, and the potential upside is enormous. It's about adding a player who can elevate the entire offense, protect Lamar Jackson, and give the Ravens a real edge in the playoffs. With the right moves, Baltimore could be on the verge of a new era of dominance, finally putting the division and the AFC on notice. The Ravens have always been about resilience, physicality, and smart football, and bringing Wirfs into the fold would embody all of that. The next few weeks will be critical, and if Baltimore manages to make this happen, we'll be talking about a team that's not just competing but poised to contend for the ultimate prize, the Super Bowl. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Baltimore Ravens news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Baltimore Ravens fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster? Do you believe adding Tristan Wirfs is the move that can push Baltimore over the top? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Ravens. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Baltimore Ravens news.